Hello everyone, welcome along to TSB Stadium in New Plymouth. The Airs hosting the Sharks in game number 4 of round 4 of the NZNBL for 2022, proudly presented by GJ Gardner Homes. And we are ready to see what was going to happen in this game, and I'm sorry, but that was an abominable joke, Casey Frank.
I loved them both. They were fantastic. And what better jokes than dad jokes on a Saturday night when we're about to enjoy some fantastic action between the Southland Sharks and the Taranaki Airs.
Absolutely. This Airs team have called in reinforcements, but some of them can play and some of them can't. We'll have more on that in a moment. For the Sharks, a little bit of the same as well for them, and they're looking to get back into the winner's circle after an inconsistent start to 2022. And we are looking forward to, and I'll tell you what, we'll talk about Romaro Gill's travels because that man is 7'2" on your screen, and he had a lot of problems trying to get his long limbs into some small vehicles. But here is what has happened in round 4. The Hawks got a great road win against the Tuatara, who have been unbeaten all season until Wednesday night, the first game of round 4. And last night, Casey and I called that Nuggets Bulls game. I'm sorry, I should call it the Nico McCulloch game against the Bulls.
Very true. 29
points, 24 in the first half. And the Giants and the Rams just finished in Nelson. And these are the games remaining in round 4. The Airs and the Sharks tonight, then a doubleheader. The Rams have to pick themselves up and get it all done again against the Saints, who have called in reinforcements for Danovich and Cooks. Xavier Cooks from the Sydney Kings, the championship winning team with the NBL, Casey. And the ladder, those bottom 4 teams, of course, top 6 make the playoffs. Man, oh man, there's a fight going to happen on with the reinforcements that have come to the league.
Yeah, there's starting to be a little bit of separation. I think the rest of the league would be quite happy that the Tuatara lost in the Lizard's lair earlier this week. But those teams without wins yet, they are certainly not out of it. Let's take a look at the big fella, Romaro Gill.
Yeah, Romaro Gill is obviously 7'2" compared to everybody else. That's a solid front line though. And more on the Sharks' shooting stats from last week. They were understandably horrific for what they have been doing before the game and in the Sal's NBL. But I like the Mojave King at point guard. That has changed things up for Rob Beveridge, and he is with Miles Pearce now courtside.
Evening, mate. A bit of a rough journey up. How have you guys been preparing for this one?
Well, we would have liked more preparation, but yeah, these things happen, and it took us 10 hours to get here, and the boys got in very late last night, but at the end of the day, we're supposed to be elite athletes, including myself. So yeah, we just get in and try our best.
2 new guys for the Airs tonight. How are you guys preparing for that, and what have you seen of them?
Yeah, look, they've got their worries, with introducing their players, and at this time of the year, I've always said there's a lot of disruption. We had our new import in this week, and he's been amazing. Unfortunately, he got hurt, so we're more worried about us than them. So, we've had a good week of practice. Hopefully, that we'll be able to implement a good style of game tonight.
The old cliche of always got to worry about us. What are you worried about them?
Their size. Yeah, as simple as that. I mean, Wynyard's been outstanding. He's a tough matchup for us. Just with his physicality. They've got. Now that they've got their imports, obviously they're very good. We've done a little bit of homework on those guys, but we just got to, as I said, hate saying it, but we're worried about us right now.
Awesome. Cheers. Good luck, mate.
And here is the starting 5 for the Taranaki Airs, Casey, and Javante Douglas at the power forward spot.
Yeah, and of course, one of their other imports not yet in the starting lineup in Hilliard. And then, of course, Marcel Jones out this week due to COVID. And that is a big loss in a game that I think Taranaki would have had circled as a possible win. And
Pero Cameron, he is a big part of this Taranaki team. And Trent Adam had COVID recently, and that means that Pero stepped up. But now Trent Adam is back, and he is with Miles Pearce.
Evening, mate. Tough battle coming up tonight. How are you guys preparing for this, even throwing in a couple of new bodies?
Yeah, tough battle. Bevo does an outstanding job preparing his team, so we've had to sort of balance that, preparing for him and also getting our guys ready with the 2 new additions this week.
Big factor inside with Ty Wynyard. How are you guys going to take advantage of that, and looking forward to the battle against Romaro Gill and DKP?
Yeah, it's going to be very much a battle of the paint, I suppose, today, trying to protect that, and both teams trying to sort of keep the other team out of the paint. So we've got some ideas to try and move them around a little bit and try and sort of, get some inside scores. Transition should help us a little bit, and with the new addition, we're also hoping that we can improve the outside shooting.
Awesome, mate. Cheers, good luck, and look forward to seeing it.
Ty Wynyard has been impressive for the Taranaki Airs, but here is your head-to-head. And you can see it's really quite contrasting, Casey.
Yeah, I think Ty Wynyard's using those tissues for wipe up the tears because of that three-point shooting percentage. That is putrid at the bottom of the competition, and that's contrasted by the Sharks, the tops in the competition. Of course, the two rebounders, no Jones tonight, so that does give the Sharks a bit of an advantage going into this one.
Well, more on that three-point shooting. They might have been hitting 40% pace, but they had a horrific game against Hawke's Bay from deep. Just 6 of 28 were the Sharks. And there were a lot of offers from their key shooters as well, and that will compound matters, and that's why they went down to the Bay 9 days ago, 87-68. Those are your TAB stats. What do you like about those ones, Case?
Well, I don't like the odds on those three-point shooting, but I do like the odds on the over in this one. And if I have to pick where the win's going to be, I think it's going to be Southland 1-10.
Well, this will be an intriguing game. And your game officials for tonight at TSB Stadium in Taranaki. And it will be interesting to see how both teams play their big men. They'll be looking for more control with Trent Adamby from the likes of Carlin Davidson to see if he can start putting refinements on his game. He is an athlete, and we just want to see how much more he can progress as the Airs. You can see him there with the headband. Dom Kalman Porto as well. How much can he have a factor in this game?
Southland has the better record, but they've gotten their 2 wins against easy beats. Saints team that was not up to snuff, and the Jets on the road. They have struggled against teams as talented as them. Are the Airs in that same talent class after picking up some imports? We'll see tonight.
Will be the Airs who control the tip.
Interested to see where they go first. As of late, they've been going Wynyard in the post early.
Carlin Davidson can't quite get that finish. You can see the athleticism of Davidson, born and bred in the Naki.
Well, excellent drive, but he's just got to make a determination that he wants to go up and dunk that one early. He's got all the athleticism to do it. The great part about that, though, even though he missed it, teammates didn't give up on the play. Ty Wynyard starting early with the rebound. Didn't get the putback, but has one more chance to start the scoring for the Naki.
There is a real wrinkle coming up for teams in the NBL, Cells NBL, with 3x3 camps coming up, and of course the Commonwealth Games and pre-tournament selections for the Tall Blacks as well.
And there's a lot of kids and players across the country are really happy to put their hand up for that team. Want to take a chance, but that will severely affect someone's depth across this league.
Burton fouled as he fell away by Hayes Walker. Alonzo Burton.
Well, you've got to be aware of Alonzo Burton shooting so well from behind the arc. Had an 8-for-8 game to start the season. Has tailed off slightly since then, but you cannot give him any airspace on the perimeter. An open shot is as good as a made shot. But he'll step to the regime for a couple of opportunities.
He was 3 for 10 against Hawke's Bay, was Burton. Don't worry about him though. He's still shooting from 3, 61%. 6.5 attempts on average.
Yeah, that's not bad. 61% is better than some teams in the league are shooting from the free throw line.
That is absolutely true. There is some horrific free throw shooting going from the Racine foul line in NBL 2022 South NBL. And that is good. That is much needed from the Airs. Hayes Walker for 3.
Nice offense, got the ball to the corner, but penetrated the zone, collapsed it, and found the Walker, the shooter on the weak side. Excellent pass by Davison.
Last in the league in percentage as Dom Kalmapoto is fouled on the drive. That's the aggression you want to see from their big man.
An interesting matchup there. Wynyard on Dom Kalmapoto, not matched up on Gill that possession. DKP uses his quickness advantage there, putting it on the ball quickly. He might be a little bit tired himself. DKP after sneaking down from Franklin last night, who I saw in the crowd enjoying the festivities.
Well, I think Dom Kalman-Poto has done himself a favor because it's a 5-hour bus journey from Wellington to New Plymouth yesterday. Romaro Gill, you can go to the Sharks Twitter account and just see how uncomfortable poor Romaro Gill was in the 7'2" frame.
Footers don't like bus trips.
No.
Especially bus trips over 30 minutes.
Well, it's been, by my count, 9 days since they last played, which is an age in the Southland NBL. Here come the Airs.
Wow, this is a vastly different team already. They're pushing the pace, moving the ball around with a bit of crispness that we have yet to see from them up to this point in the season.
Hayes Walker with the drive, the teardrop, and it drops! Bouncing off the heel around the rim, and down it goes to Hayes Walker, and one.
A start for Hayes Walker, hit the triple, showing a lot of aggressiveness off the bounce as well. And this time gets the contact. Look at that change of direction, fights it off there, comes through, and a little bit of contact on the landing spot wasn't given to him, so he heads to the line for his second three-point play opportunity of the day, this time the old-fashioned way from the Racine stripe.
We might have ourselves Nico McCulloch type start to the game. He was on fire.
Former backcourt mates with the Jets. Maybe they're both on a bit of a revenge tour.
You know it was good if when we're still talking about it 24 hours later. McCulloch for the Nuggets. Brainer Inga to Romaro Gill, and that's a tough pass for a 7-footer to bend down and get. But Inga gets it back. Oh yeah, Mojave King showing the athleticism.
Like the hustle by Carlin Davidson, but you gotta know, don't save the ball into your own hoop.
Whoa, Hayes Walker misses. Here comes the pace from the Sharks. Mojave King, Dom Kalman-Porto just using his size, and Ty Wynyard. That is some strength between those two men there.
Yeah, most definitely an impressive job by Dom Kalman-Porto to keep his balance there. Wynyard really knocked him off his line. It looked like he was gonna look for the reverse layup. Instead, he absorbed that contact and was able to finish strongly on the same side he started on.
And the Airs have a -10 points differential. I mean, they're outscored on average by 10, so they need to be wary, Javonte Douglas, of the pace, because the Sharks get up and down, and then they get back really well, do the Airs.
Already improved transition defense from the Airs last trip out, which was a must if they wanted to get real serious about getting some wins.
Really falling to no one here. The Airs are lucky to still, well, no, they don't have it. That was sloppy there on that possession.
That was the worst they've looked at against the zone in the first almost 3 minutes of this ball game. They didn't really get the ball to the corner or penetrate the zone at all that time. And when they did, they were well out of position to make plays. Solid defensive uptick by the Sharks there.
Harvey King for three. Double teamed on him. That's a tough three to make. Wynyard with the rebound. 7-7 apiece. Coming up 3 minutes gone at TSB Stadium in New Plymouth. Another great crowd, and Carlin Davidson on the bounce. Oh, nothing but net for Carlin Davidson, and that's going to feel good for him.
Long time coming, young fella.
Yeah, Carlin Davidson just 10% from three, Casey.
That can be improved upon.
Braden Inga replies with a three of his own.
Got to get a hand up.
40% from deep last season, and just averaging a tick under 32.
And had his season high in this very gym against the Naki last year.
Nice finish from Ty Wynyard, but he can't get it to drop. Did everything right, but he's fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot two from the Racine line.
Oh, nice fluid move in the post by Wynyard there, but just didn't lock down the finish. Look at that change of direction. The spin has Gill really off balance and unable to finish the gimme. I think a little bit concerned about the shot blocking ability of the big fella there. Instead, gets the offensive rebound and to the line for another opportunity. And free throws early, not going the side of the Naki.
Subs on the make. Jaron in for the Sharks. Mojave King. Sharks looking for the lead. Mojave King to Inga. Drives on the baseline to Inga. Jaron for three. Wynyard, big rebound, holding off Gill.
Don't mind that position though, as we see Jalen Duran jump in front of Javante Douglas trying to get that charge there. Instead, he'll get the blocking foul, but a good solid possession there from the Sharks. Really unselfish, moved the ball around, ended up with an excellent look in the late shot clock. Just one you got to nail down.
Aaron Bailey-Knoll now in the game for the Airs, the veteran, and so is Hilliard.
And that is the fourth team foul on the Sharks already. It will be free throws from here on out, every foul in.
No Marcel Jones tonight for the Airs. Caught a bit of the spicy cough. Is Marcel Jones a proven double-double man all around the world. And here comes Mojave King. He's back for the Airs 2022. Inga for three. Banks it in! Did he call it? Doesn't matter. 24-hour banking open.
Definitely did not, but he will take it. And when a stroke cut drops like that, Pure, he's going to be feeling pretty good about his chances this evening.
The imports working together. And there's the size of Romaro Gill, who just altered everything on that possession.
Oh, unfortunate first couple of shot attempts for Javante Douglas there. Patting the stats and the rebounds, but can't get the layup to drop.
Mojave King with a left. Oh, nice finish.
Mojave King has struggled slightly with the physicality on his drives to the basket this season, but he looks determined so far in this one.
Yeah, no Winston Shepherd, as you can see him leaning on the advertising hoardings there as he watches Hilliard drop down a nice baseline. Jay?
Well, that was a much higher degree of difficulty than the layup, but he makes it drop with ease.
35-year-old. He's played around the world as well. And the colours for Taranaki. 3 ball.
That's nice fast break, had a good look on it, and just need a little bit more attention on the offensive glass as the charge comes.
Richie Rogers sold that on Mojave King.
Looks like he might have taken a little bit of a head bump to the choppers there. Mojave King puts the head down and just a little elbow into the face.
Elbow.
He's been watching a lot of NBA lately because he's selling that facial contact.
To get the Lucas special, which came back to haunt Devin Booker.
Stop bringing it up. You're just a Warriors fan.
That is true.
Roger taking a look at the teeth there. Hopefully he's okay. But a nice start here for the Naki. Just over 5 minutes in, and they're pretty much right where they want to be.
We're going under that switch when we switch Inga. So if you're marking Inga, you aren't on that dribble handoff action. You're forcing and going under. Don't go over and let him slip out of that. So we're going under. We're keeping people in front of us. Okay, good job on getting a set down there. Make sure we aren't crashing rebounds.
Play here, okay? When we over dribble, we get ourselves in trouble. Hey, we got 5 fouls right now, okay? I've just spoken to the referees and asked them to look the other way now. Okay, stay focused in what we're doing. Okay, so just contain this, guys. Stop fouling, contain it. So right now, it's through the 5, 3 side shallow. 3 side shallow. Here we go. 3 side shallow.
Southland with the 2-point lead, and getting word from Mike Lacey. Appreciate it. Dom Kalman Poto was up north at his sister Ashley's wedding yesterday. That's why he was there. We saw him at the Franklin Bulls game, so congratulations to Ashley.
Oh, Ashley Kelman Poto, congratulations on the nuptials. I'm sure she's watching now on her honeymoon.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you having a Sal's pizza? I think she's married life, like sharing a pepperoni. And that 3 is good.
Hilliard.
Taranaki, much needed lift from deep.
Comes off and not a lot of touches yet, but gets that one to drop. Promising signs for the Naki.
Maybe Ashley in the GJ Gardner home, Casey. Braden Inga off the heel of the iron.
As long as it's painted with Resine.
They've got their mortgage from TSB. Here comes Hilliard back. Artie lost it. Wynyard gave it up. Falls nicely. And a little bit ugly, but Elijah Puna gets that to go down.
Well, I like the mindset to follow his shot. Doesn't give up on it, doesn't get back in transition, chases after it, causes some damage on the offensive glass, which has given the Sharks trouble at times this season.
Mojave King lost the handle, good D from Davidson, and here he is, 2 Sharks around him circling. 3 ball, and that can't drop. Puna for 3, and that also won't fall. Southland survived the turnover.
Well, frenetic attack on that possession, but I think they need to look for a bit better shot quality.
Wow, what a pass, what a tough shot. Romaro Gill just bringing it down, and that is, unfortunately, a cardinal sin if you're a big man when you bring it down by your waist, which is probably just about shoulder height for everyone else.
Yeah, Gill has people snapping at those ankles every time he's got that ball in hand and brings it down. Strong drive, good drop off. Couldn't finish by King. Gill has his hands in it, but everybody's on it. Probably a little unlucky to have that go off the Sharks, but the Airs will take it.
And I don't know how that wasn't an over the back from Ty Wynyard on McRae, but it will go to Southland. Taranaki with a 3-point lead. There's Songa Ape with the ball. Ooh, wow, wait.
A little too much mustard on that hot dog.
Here comes Hilliard. Wynyard facing up on McRae, gets the double from Inga, but too big, too strong.
Love getting him the ball with Gill out of the game, with Dom Kamapoto not guarding him. That is going to be a tough matchup for anyone else on the Sharks roster.
Mojave King falling away. That is a tough shot.
Nice strong shot there, but you can see Carlin Davison has taken this on his shoulders in this matchup. He is locked up and working hard on King's attempts.
Songa Ape all over Hilliard. Called for the foul.
Jules Songa Ape, of course, in a return to his team from last year. He was always hopeful to play against your old squads, and then we see a bit too much contact. And overall, I'm not too disappointed with that defensive effort by Lasonga Ape there. Just needs to do a bit better job of slicing down before the drive gets in that area, taking away that shot attempt from Hilliard.
Taranaki have 9 more shots than Southland in this game already. Shooting just 36%, however. Taranaki, but the pace is probably falling into the favor of the Sharks, who do like to push it.
I'd say so too. We're not for that long bus trip the night before. I think with this kind of travel schedule that was uninspected, you could expect some tired legs in the second half of this one. They need to give themselves a bit of a cushion coming down the stretch.
Well, they put in over 100 points on the Saints in the opening game, but they only scored, what was it? It was only 68 against Hawke's Bay, so they're probably around about where they are. Scoring-wise, wow.
Who was the foul on there?
Javante Douglas.
Javante Douglas, really nice timing on the left-handed block. We'll see, get a better look at it here, see where the contact happened, possibly. Well, we'll just see what happens. Tough call, tough call.
Taranaki up 5. Minute 26 to go in the first quarter. The Songa Ape misses the first from the Razine line.
Able to drop the second and pull the Sharks to within 4. Closing time here for the Naki, really important. They've done so well to be up 4 on their home court, but they have to close strong. They can't turn the ball over, as they just did there.
Tipped away by King and then almost went in. Big screen by McRae mid-court as Songa Ape tried to step through, and Inga can't get that one to drop.
Nice vision by Songa Ape though. Inga with a great look. Coach Rob Beveridge take that every time.
Hilliard, can he get the roll? Oh, Carlin Davidson again. There's the athleticism he possesses.
He hit that first one, now he's feeling he's got it. Gonna have to maybe take a bit more of a less challenged shot there.
McRae on an island on the perimeter looking for help. Here comes Burton. Son of Willie can't get that to go down. It's Davidson up ahead. He fires it to Hilliard. Doesn't want to hold it for the last shot, but Carlos Davidson is there to get the rebound.
He made the outlet pass,
yes,
and then he got the offensive rebound. That is work rate.
And is he going to be aware of the clock? Wynyard tries to tip it away, but it will be Southland who has the last shot of the first quarter.
Well, we got to get one up quickly.
And Zanga feeling it, can't get it. Now it's us. Taranaki hosting the Sharks, and they lead them by 4 at TSB Stadium.
All right, so that's the cells. This is the cells with steel. Right. What is you? You need to make 3 shots. So you need to run down there, steal the ball off the knee, and then you can get back here, and you need to make 3 shots. You just need to make 3 shots. You've got 30 seconds. Are you ready? You're going to start from behind the base. And if you make all 3 shots, you're going to sell extension. Are you ready? On your marks. Here's the next extension. Go! Stop me! Stop! Go there. Here it comes. Here it comes. That's one. Go! 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 That's on the side of you. Go! 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 Oh! Come on! Get around here! Get on! Yes!
NZNBL action, all thanks to GJ Gardner-Holmes, and the Airs lead the Sharks 22-18 after 1 quarter by virtue of grabbing 7 offensive rebounds in that first quarter. Just the 1 offensive rebound for Rob Beveridge and his Southland Sharks team. Tough journey to get here as well for the Sharks. No Winston Shepherd tonight as well. He rolled an ankle in training, unfortunately, as he walks past. And no Marcel Jones for the Airs. He's out with COVID. And Rob Beveridge does join us now. Coach, welcome to New Plymouth. A journey to get there. How do your team respond to the travel journey that you've gone through in that first quarter?
Oh, look, that's no excuse. I think we're 1 step behind, but we've got to switch on. Disappointing thing right now, we're just getting outworked.
Yeah,
totally outworked, so it's a bit frustrating. 8 offensive rebounds, it's not good enough.
Yeah, in terms of that 8 offensive rebounds, is it just simply work rate, or is it something that you can do in terms of your positioning, or is it a product of this zone defense that you've seen a little bit of from the Airs?
Oh, look, I just think that rebounding is all about effort and desire. They're playing harder than us, and they're shooting it. Long perimeter shots means long rebounds. We're just not doing a good enough job at the moment.
Thanks so much for your time, Coach. Always appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Dom Kalman-Portal gives it up to Alonzo Burden. Love the fact we get to talk to the coaches in some of the games. There's, again, Southland working hard, but we have a shot clock violation.
Well, that can't be a shot clock violation because that possession was certainly in the hands of Aaron Bailey-Knoll. If I'm the Sharks, I'd be complaining about that one, but apparently maybe the shot clock violation was prior to that. And things go in the way of the Taranaki Airs this evening. They've struggled at home up to this point, but a little bit of a talent infusion. And all of a sudden, it's a little bit easier to get the ball in the hoop.
Certainly. 3 on the way as well.
Telfer with the range. He prides himself as being a defensive player, but showed no hesitation on that triple.
Scott Telfer 6 points a game, gets 3 of them there.
No real effort on the glass by the Sharks when Don Kamapoto is putting that shot up from the perimeter. Somebody else has to get in there. They need to start getting back in this possession game.
Tough reverse from Hayes Walker.
Want to see that ball move through more hands. Not a terrible look, but got to make the defenders work. They're going to be tired.
Here's Jaron looking for Carmen Poto, who cuts at the right time. Can't get the roll to go down.
Unlucky. Everything done right except the finish goes wanting.
Hayes Walker with the ball.
Well, we got the mismatch down low, and
Rogers slips
wet spot
on the floor there. So
referee Ryan Jones called him safe.
we're going to make sure that gets cleaned up. It's not where he slipped. A little bit over there, outside the key.
Yeah, I've seen these kids before. I'm glad they got a supervisor this time. I've seen their work, and as game as they are, they do kind of aimlessly go out there with the towels. They don't really know exactly what they're looking for. Looking for some guidance still. The players got to tell them what's going on there.
So it will be Hayes Walker to get the game back underway. 9-point lead for the Airs.
No, what a play.
Oh my goodness, what a great pass. Nice hands and finish from Ty Wynyard, who's looking so impressive in Sal's NBL season 2022.
Excellent patience on the baseline by Hayes Walker, letting that play develop and not giving up before the wide open shot was there.
Carmen Poto not really looking to go at Wynyard out there, waiting for Enga. And it's Javante with the ball.
It's turned into difficult mid-range shots and not a lot of stuff at the basket.
Javante gives it up to Ty. And Ty just a little baby hook in the keyway.
Well, that is a timeout for Rob Beveridge and the Sharks. He has seen enough as they have come out of the blocks firing here in the second quarter. Off to a 8-0 run to begin things in just a limited amount of time, and a lovely dish there. Braden Inger, unfortunately, trips there, loses his balance, makes it extremely easy finish, but still the soft, nice touch by Wynyard.
Yeah, we're not. We got to be scoring inside, okay? You understand that? So, right now, let's look at corner, off the dribble here, corner, 2-on-2 inside. Cross screen, get inside, pop back, high-low, rip throughs.
Then play with tempo. When we get a chance, let's run a stack. When we get a chance, don't care how.
Taranaki lead by 13 in this game. They're on an 8-0 run. And Casey, Southland just doesn't seem to be there where Rob Beveridge wants.
Well, that's a coach's nightmare. If you've got to go out there and you got to try and coach effort for your team, you're already starting out behind the 8 ball. You got to worry about X and O strategy. If you're trying to tell these guys, look, I know we're tired, but we got to get going. I mean, the battle is half lost before it's begun.
Cowie out there for the Sharks. Here's the ball. Enga gives it up to Carmen Poto. And he gets the roll. Is that an and one? I believe so.
It is.
Don Carmen Poto just getting the ball where he can go to work. And that is much better for Southland.
See 5 points, 1 assist already. And you mentioned the play before that Kelvin Poto got the ball on the baseline and didn't aggressively take on Ty Wynyard, and that was not the case there. Catches it, pounds it right in, heeding the challenge that Coach Rob Beveridge has brought to the Sharks. We've got to pick up this work rate, and there's nobody on that Shark squad that has a higher work rate than this man in the screen right now.
Looking good with a fresh dye job as well. Would have been great in the wedding photos for his sister Ashley's wedding. And just a broken play there as the lob went up and unfortunately didn't connect for Elijah Puna.
And we had Miles Pierce on the sidelines there at the game, and he let us know that that was exactly how Rob Beveridge drew that play up. That's what he wanted exactly from Kelvin Poto, and got it. A bit more of that translation needs to be coming through.
2-3 zone from the Sharks. Richie Roger trying to work out the zone. Wynyard just lurking on the baseline of the key. Hayes Walker stepping to the right. And that's a tough shot. That hit the rim. It did. Surely it did it.
No, yeah, there it is. Shot clock violation is called because it didn't hit the rim. Hayes Walker,
down.
Yeah, did well to try and get it up on the rim at the late clock.
Post. Yep, corner post.
But didn't grow any iron on that one. So
the dribble.
I like the call by Coach Rob Beveridge, putting him in his zone. This has been an offense for the Airs that's had a lot of rhythm, found a lot of freedom. That's not there these last couple of possessions against this zone. Can they continue to muck things up for him?
It was a tremendous game we called, Casey, between the Bulls and the Sharks, where the zone really played a factor down the stretch. Southland, his anger is fouled, falling away. And Hilliard, I believe, is going to be called for that.
I did not see a lot of contact from the angle we had, but the whistles are keeping things pretty tight, and in particular on a fadeaway. This is not where you want to commit a foul. Must have been a little bit of contact on the arm. Tough to see from that angle. Didn't affect the shot, but it's going to affect the score line as Ingrid has a chance for a free throw here.
Rattles that down, so he's now the Sharks' leading scorer for the game with 9. Lead is 7 for Taranaki.
The question for Taranaki is, where do we go for? We need a bucket right now. We've got 2 new imports on the squad. Taiwan, you're playing well inside, but we're struggling against the zone. We need something offensively. Who's got our answer?
Yeah, that game against the Bulls, the Sharks ended up losing that one in Franklin. Low scoring affair, but the zone worked. And oh my goodness, Romaro Gill, minimum high.
Well, fantastic take by the Javante Robinson, but a better block by Gill. That's what the big fella does.
That's what we want.
And another foul called.
That's killing him. Right on the elbows, the call from the ref. Give me a replay.
Yeah.
Roll out for one. That's what I want to hear.
That looks pretty clean to me. Sean Adams saying maybe not, but that was all ball to begin with. Excellent timing by Gill. Leaving the little fish gasping for air.
Harvey King misses that, so a little bit of justice for the Airs.
This foul count has not gone their way here in this quarter. I like the aggressiveness physically. They got to keep it up, but that's a couple of fouls on shooters the last few possessions that they just need to be better than. Have to challenge and contest without fouling.
Romaro Gill was a Saint last year. Didn't really get going for the Saints until he wasn't. Yeah, played for Seton Hall in NCAA. He's the partner of Tumbai Matson's daughter, former Crusader and All Black. And that 3 is good.
Richie Roger.
That's how he ended up in New Zealand.
That is.
Romaro Gill, but Richie Roger, clean looking 3. Drops that from straight on. There is Gill. Harvey looking for Gill, keeps it up high. Enga touch pass to Cowie, gets it back. It's a nice basketball, but good D. Dom Kamapoto driving. Oh, Taiwan, good hands.
Short
staying
clock
with the Sharks.
Really excellent timing by Ty when you're there. We're going to be under 2 seconds on the shot clock, possibly left. But look at this timing. Without fouling, really nicely extending his arm to take that out.
Just really nice offensive execution and really good defense. It's Mojave King. Can't get that. Taranaki come away with it. Richie Roger snaps it ahead to himself. And again, good hands. This time, Mojave King. Nice passage of play at both ends.
Everybody just getting that hand, almost caught in the cookie jar time after time. Roger with a nice tip to himself, but the hustle by King to get back into it and slap it out. That is the kind of work rate Rob Beveridge needs more of on the first leg of this road trip.
And we got a timeout with the Airs enjoying an 8-point lead still in this game.
A couple of things. Remember, when they're in zone, we want to swing. Weak side flash. That's cool. When we get it back in there, we want to bring Romero up, and then we want Ty sealing down there. And so look for those high lows. Be patient with that. Now, zone break. When the ball's here, the long person can't be too long. Can we go back diagonal and attack? It's slowing us down. Look for the middle. Look for the middle. Run flat. Run flat. Run flat. 1, 2, 3. Watch our shot clock.
Well, the bright spot is they've assisted on all their made field goals, have the Southland Sharks. Unfortunately, they're shooting only 36%, 38% for Taranaki, who are enjoying an 8-point lead by virtue of a better rebounding count.
And how about the reversal of fortune at the three-point line? A huge improvement to 5 for 16 for the Airs, only 31%. But they are defending the line greatly, holding Southland to 2 for 10 from deep. Remember, this is the team that leads the league in three-point percentage at over 40%. Big rebound.
Big board, another offensive rebound for the Airs. Hilliard getting it done from just above the Razine line.
Loses Tom Cowie. Gave him the spin show and sent him all down the lane as he hit that mid-range jumper.
10 is the lead now. Colin Davidson rushing on Inga. And then Richie Roger steals it.
Watch out.
Look out.
Oh, great block.
Braden Inga going up with Colin Davidson.
Carlin
And had something to say about it.
I don't know. He shouldn't be talking. He just got his stuff smacked. Excellent pass by Richie Rogers there. Colin Davidson going up, not expecting the challenge there by Braden Inger, who really timed that nicely.
Still in this 2-3 zone, it's working for them, and we've got an offensive foul.
Oh, tough illegal screen on Richie Roger called there. Just got tied up with that low side of the wing, taking away what would have been a pretty wide open look for Javonte Douglas. Sorry, Javonte Robinson. Douglas is right. I was wrong. Anyway, back to it.
Here is Mojave King stepping through.
What is that?
Oh, wow. Gets his shot blocked. Gets it in. And in.
Get your body in front.
A little globe trotting.
Yeah.
Somehow finds a way.
So Carl will play the 1.
Douglas lets the triple fly from the baseline, but no offensive rebounds, leads to a fast break opportunity.
Inga knocking down a 3 to improve that 3-point percentage.
Well, the counterattack by the Sharks, they're starting to see an uptick in work rate from the boys in orange. And Taranaki needs the ball to go into the basket more often to slow some of this transition attack.
Get through. Good. Let out. Ball out.
Hilliard with a 3. Just keeping the Sharks at arm's length.
There. Some of the best shots they've hit are shots that aren't really being created. Solid defense by the Sharks there.
Inga misses that 3 this time. Hilliard pushes it. Taranaki, this is a different pace than we're used to seeing them as.
That's a no call.
Javonte Douglas. Can't believe he missed that, Bunny.
His assistant coach, Piero Cameron, is yelling for the squad to run, telling Tom, when you run up the lane, you gotta push it. As Douglas takes the hit, can't get the hit, Beckett, and he is wondering, did somebody put some saran wrap on the rim for me today? Because I have missed a few of these bunnies.
Saran wrap like Glad wrap. (39-31). Douglas at the line. Javonte Douglas, he was with the Airs 4 years ago, and he averaged a double-double of 21 and 10. And he was really, really useful for them. 50% shooter as well.
And that's making tonight a bit of an aberration, off to a tough start. 1 for 7 from the field, 0 for 2 from the three-point line.
Winston Shepherd, who's out in this game for the Sharks, he's also a former player from the 2018 season. He was very good for the Rams. He got a little bit too much aggression from Telfer there.
Yeah. Telfer, he does want to be a top flight defender. He's out there working his body well on these areas, but he's got to be aware of the foul count in the bonus. See those hands in there already on the ref's mind. He could have called that one, that left forearm. That's where the foul is. If he gets that hand out, he's okay. That contact's okay, but when that hand's inside, making that contact, that's where the foul's coming from.
Mojave King, we touched on it briefly at the top of the broadcast, Casey. His shift to point guard, he's got all the tools, all the athleticism as well. And for Rob Beveridge, might just be the way forward. He likes the look of it. Heading towards half-time. Mojave King has a long lineage within his family. Leonard King is high performance manager, New Zealand basketball, former NBL star as well. Colin Davidson bouncing around the key. Douglas gets it back to Davidson, who checks the line and knocks down that three. Just taking a deep breath, taking a little bit of time, and that looks good when he is able to knock it down.
Not rushed. It's nice to see him have a couple go through. That will do wonders for his confidence and open up a little space in the drives.
Burton in all sorts of trouble, and we've got to travel. Jaden Jerem's trying to get it back and give him some help. He was out of bounds, and just a broken play there for the Sharks.
Yeah, Duran couldn't keep it in bounds, and when he kept it in bounds, and Burton, once he caught it, a lot of contact there, but the aggressiveness of the Airs was rewarded with the travel call.
Also, Burton just 0 for 2 in this game as well. Back to the 2-3 zone, and it's Burton with the steal. Looking up ahead. There's Inga stepping through. Can't get the finish though. Bradley Knoll is there and he looks up. He sees Hilliard, and Hilliard lost the handle. Was going to dunk it and didn't quite have it. Amaro Gill gets it.
Fast breaks are harder than they look, guys. Definitely harder than they look.
They shouldn't. Oh, and Mojave King is fouled. He'll go to the line for 2. Making it look hard. Maybe defense is hustling though, and that's a big reason why.
Yeah, just couldn't hold the handle on that one, and there's been a multitude of attempts that have gone wanting for Taranaki, and that just pops out. And then we see the nice move by Mojave King. Man, that is real quickness there to go from that right block all the way over to the left on that crossover, creating some real space, making it difficult for Ty Wynyard to keep pace.
Mojave King pushes it to double figures. Mojave King now has 14.
Excellent start for him in the move off the bench into the starting lineup, which was only a matter of time.
14, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Colin Davidson. Hilliard gives it back. 90 seconds to go in the half.
Sharks keeping him guessing with the switches and defenses.
Floater won't go. Romaro Gill's there, and he gets it back. Romaro Gill, another rebound. He has it up high, and if he was passing to another 7-2 guy, it'd be okay.
Maybe everybody looks to his eyes to him, but just a poor execution there. Did a nice job of supplying the release valve for Lasonge Alpe stuck in the key, but once you get it, calm down. It doesn't have to be a pass for an immediate knockout punch. You just got to take care of the ball.
Davidson gets it back. It's trapped in the corner. Open 3 though. That's good. Colin Davidson's delivering in the first half.
10%. Take that 10% and stick it in a paper bag, because he is flying high with the shooting today. That is 3 for 5.
Oh, Gill had it. It was right there for Burton. Just to float it over the top. But Jaron for 3. He knocks down a triple.
Oh, timely response as the defender goes underneath the screen, giving him all that space, and he takes advantage.
Davidson lost the handle, spins. Hilliard has it.
Aaron Bailey Noel letting his teammates know, slow it down, get the last shot.
Just a little bit frantic at times, aren't they?
Might have gone a little early.
Look away pass, Hilliard. With the shot clock winding down, Sharks can get a shot up from half court. Jaron gives it up, and Mojave, Alonzo Burton had no idea, unfortunately. But that's half time. And Taranaki is very good half of basketball at home in front of a nice loud crowd at TSB Stadium. A 24-17 second quarter gives them a 46-38 lead.
Promising defensive efforts in this one. They've really come out and did a nice job of controlling the action, and every time the Sharks make a push, they have responded to keep a little bit of a cushion there.
And you can see Miles Pierce just waiting there with Ty Wynyard from the Airs. Former NBL player Miles Pierce now with Ty.
Great first half. Their zone's giving you a little bit of a grip. How are you guys going to handle that in the second?
We're just going to play that inside-outside game, get into that high post, and use short corners as an attacker. I think we're doing a great job on the glass, so we're just going to keep cleaning it up and keep crushing. Yeah.
Awesome. Cheers. Good luck up in the second half.
Right now, Mojave King joins Miles on the court as they walk off.
Mate, points hard to come by in that first half. How do you guys tidy this up and get some points on the board?
Yeah, I think it's just taking care of the ball, being strong with our passes and not letting the defense or the physicality affect us.
Awesome. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Good luck for the second.
And the second half is about to come up, but before that, we've got the Sky Broadband halftime wrap to talk about what we just witnessed. 20 minutes of basketball. It had everything. And we'll be back after these ads. welcome back to TSB Stadium. Sky Broadband halftime wrap. And Trent Adam talking to his troops. No audio, of course. Top secret stuff. Trent Adam and his heirs as they have a lead of 8 over the Southland Sharks. And Casey Frank, a really good half of basketball from Taranaki, who have really upped the pace in this game.
Yeah, I've been pretty impressed by the way they've controlled the pace. They've been playing solid defense, and one of the ways they've been doing that is by feeding the ball to the big fella, Ty Wynyard.
These are not highlights, by the way. This is just the halftime
Well, they
game.
could be. Look at that drive.
Ty Wynyard, though, a beast in the middle, and he has really come on in 2022.
Well, using the plays to his development, too. He's letting the ball come to him. He's not forcing it. He's not just sitting in the post. He's working off the drives. He's working off the screen. Solid defense on the other end, challenging people at the rim, controlling the glass with the rebound. That's exactly what you want to see from the big fella. On the other side, the pace at times has been the biggest weapon for the Sharks, and that has been led by the Mojave King insertion into the starting lineup at point guard.
Absolutely. Mojave King, he's got such a great skill set. He's athletic, he's long. He's the next star in the NBL for the Cairns Taipans.
He can score the ball in a ton of ways. His quickness to the cup on his driving ability is probably where he's going to find most of his points in New Zealand. He's just going to have to do a better job of combating some of the physicality and finding a way to finish through it with plays just like that. Globetrotter-esque.
And the hustle to get the ball back and get it up and in. And here are the stats for you in the 41st year of the Sal's NBL.
And you see pretty even in the shooting overall, outside of the three-pointers where the Taranaki Airs have had their best day of the year. The free throws keeping the Sharks reasonably tight, but the rebounds, that's where some of that discrepancy is combined with the turnovers, and that where you see that real difference in possession. 41 shots to 28 for the Sharks. If that continues, Taranaki has an excellent shot at maintaining this lead.
12 combined threes at TSB Stadium for the crowd to enjoy. And I'll be loving the fact the Airs have a lead over the Sharks. Always a favourite for the title are the Sharks. Always there and thereabouts since they came into the league. And the Airs with his 8-point lead, 46.5 as well. And we'll go to a break. We'll be back with the third quarter after that. Welcome back to game number 4 of round 4 of the NZNBL, proudly presented by GJ Gardner Homes. The Airs up 8 over Dom Kalman Porto and the Southland Sharks in town. Finally getting there yesterday after a elongated journey due to weather disruptions.
And he had some nuptial celebrations last night for his sister, but he's got to celebrate his performance on the court today. Down 8 points. He's the man that the Sharks are going to be looking to carry that load. He had 6 in the first half, but look for him to get a few more touches, only 5 shots, get the ball in his hands and let him go to work, especially in that short corner area.
Go off, Gets. Go, so right
Dom
now,
Kalman
come off
Porto.
this.
Don't stack. Now,
Could be a handful for Trinidad.
Conversely, for the Airs, as Trent Adam talks to his team trying to get things, Javante Douglas needs to find a way to get himself involved in the game. He's missed a couple of bunnies, made some decent passes, but if he can imprint his skill set on this game, that's going to lead its way to an Airs victory.
You can go cook a little bit.
Both teams shooting 39% in this game.
And
your leading scorers, Hilliard for the Airs with 10, Mojave King has 14, and Braden Inga has 12 for the Sharks. Third quarter, about to get underway. Airs hunting for a win, just their second on the season. The Sharks looking to break out of a 2-2 break.
This is a situation the Airs haven't been in too many times this season. Up at halftime, protecting a lead, they have to be very mindful of not thinking that this lead is the job done. The Sharks will come out with a fury here in the third. I can sense it.
Third quarter underway. It's Roger to Douglas, spinning on Kalman Porto. Oh, that's tough. And it's there, it's Wynyard to clean it up.
But I don't mind that miss. That's great aggression, puts up a good shot. And as long as you've got guys on the glass like Big Ty Wynyard, that shot almost as good as a make.
Oh, Burton wrapped it around Wynyard to find Kalman Porto, who fires it out to Inga.
What an unselfish play underneath. Whipped it to Inga. Don't even know how he saw him.
Colin Davison just had it slapped away, he lost the handle. Either way, Sharks have it back. Inga stepping through and he travelled.
He stepped through several times.
Stepped through and then walked and then skipped through.
Yeah, just a little bit too much stepping on that one. And we see pick it up, one little carry action, little steps. In the end, not quite what he's looking for.
Colin Davidson, he wants that call. He's getting nothing around the rim.
They are the Sharks challenging him well at the line. As you see the
deep three and early on the shot clock as well from Burton.
I like the way the Sharks are defending the paint, hands up without fouling.
That's nice from Douglas.
Finally, it finds the net, his second make of the day. He's probably got to feel a little bit like Sisyphus pushing that boulder up the hill right now with how difficult it is to get the ball in the cup. He's matched up on Gill as well.
Sharks wanting to clean up the glass and the turnovers.
They have no fear of Gill getting the ball in the post and making some moves one-on-one.
Absolutely zero.
Back him down, back him down, back him down.
And Trent ends up saying back him down. Likes that mismatch. Burton survives that possession.
Appreciate Douglas's aggressiveness coming out, and that's not a good foul at half court. He's having trouble adjusting to the whistles in his first game out.
That is a frustration foul, if ever there was one.
Yeah, he's doing the work, gets there, and just not even really looking to foul. I mean, he's got to feel that kind of contact is there pretty consistently. But that time, the whistle was blown.
And we've got a foul on the baseline. Is that Kalman Porto sticking that butt out?
Might have been Hayes Walker grabbing, I think. As
yeah, maybe.
Zoe Burton was coming around from the side. Tough to tell. But either way, these whistles
whistling
are really playing, I think, in the hands of the Sharks. The Airs had some momentum. They were feeling good getting that game, but the stop-startness of it, I think, gives Southland a chance to recover and really lock in on what their game plan is.
And that three is good.
It's always part of the game plan.
So Burton.
He is shooting plus 60% from the three-point line this year. You can see why with shots like that.
50-44, it's Wynyard going against Gill.
That's a trouble.
He traveled.
Oh no, foul call.
Foul called on Gill.
Flag.
That is an interesting matchup because that is the strength of Ty Wynyard
Under the basket.
against the length and height of Romaro Gill.
I think it's really a spot where Ty Wynyard has to learn that he's also got speed.
Yeah.
You know, when you're as big as Wynyard is, you just try and throw yourself against the big fellas all the time, but he's got a quickness advantage. I'd like to see him face up, put the ball on the floor and attack with that spin move again.
I mean, Ty Wynyard was a child prodigy, really. He was a tall black at the age of, felt like he was 14.
He was 15 and he was my roommate.
He was Casey Frank's roommate. I mean, I think he's just grown back into his body again. Romaro Gill, almost stepping over the top of Hayes Walker.
Nimble with the feet as he caught and finished nicely with the finger roll. George Gervin-esque.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Iceman with the finger roll. Ty Wynyard going to work on Kamapoto and Gill, and he can't get that. And here comes Henga. Henga gets an easy fast break too.
Need a timeout for the Taranaki Airs. They have lost their enthusiasm. They have lost their fire. And the Sharks are starting to take advantage of that. Here we see the miss by Ty Wynyard. And it looked like two Airs had a chance at the ball. Instead, fast break the other way. A little leak out action for Braden Inger. And he will take the easy fast break layup.
Richie, Ant, Puna, Auntie, Ty. Just settle down here. Let's just settle down here. Cool. Making sure, Auntie, you were at the 4. You're looking for those little high post catches. And then we're playing out of that. Dom's on 3. If you go at Dom, what's he going to do? Correct? You know what I mean? So understand that. We're going to get on the same page on offense. Defensively, don't let him get behind you. So you're just touching. We got that nail help. You're dropping with him.
Go. Fakes, okay, get it. Get it.
And that's what Rob Beveridge talked about when we spoke to him, just wanting to clean up the effort and get it going, get it started on the glass. Just have that desire to want to be able to get stops and grab rebounds.
And our man on the floor, Miles Pierce, spoke to the Sharks staff coming out of the locker room, and they were really worried about the offensive glass and the turnovers. And so far, they've seemed to clean those areas up, and that has led to them clawing their way back into this ball game with the quickness.
Get another stop here. Back into the man. The Sharks defense. Puna, this is that. And that is going to be called on Hilliard.
Puna, Richie, way to hesitate, go again.
And Taranaki.
Puna under the basket.
And they will be able to get the ball on the baseline. Let's bring in Miles Pierce, who's courtside for us. Miles, what he's seen from where you are.
Bevo's asking for some execution in that last time out, and as you guys mentioned, the efforts from Southland has really lifted, and now the Naki have really got to match that. So we're going to be up for an interesting third quarter right now. Thanks, guys.
And starts with Hilliard attacking the zone. A little bit more aggression on the offensive side is exactly what the prescription was for the Airs.
Burton had it slapped away.
Scared of him or something.
Aaron Bailey, Noel called for the foul on that drive. Hand on the ball, contact elsewhere.
We see a quick drive by Alonzo Burton. Puna not expecting the ball to go on the floor because he is such a prolific three-point shooter. Instead, he surprises him. A little bit of quickness off the bounce.
And plus, the key was empty. Everyone was up high.
Always tends to close quickly when it looks wide open.
Panic stations. Alonzo Burton at the line at the received stripe. Back to a 5-point lead for the Airs. Looking for a bit of extended pressure on the make. Double team split, kicks it out. Oh, that's good.
Oh, big shot. On the swing out to Puna. Nice attack by Hilliard as he's taken over these point guard duties as Douglas has gone to the bench with that foul trouble.
Inga. And that is going to stay with Southland.
I appreciate the way Richie Roger complains. He does it with a smile, so refs don't really get mad at him.
I couldn't quite believe that. Pero Cameron. Pero just coaching up a storm.
Leading this case with the bench mob.
National team coach as well. Big year for Pero Cameron.
Always big for Pero.
I mean, Pero, Braden Inga going up, knocking down that three, and Pero Cameron
that's
on.
Just not enough defensive fortitude. That ball is moving around too freely on the perimeter. You have to get out in those passing lanes, force a little retreat.
Hilliard shake for the three, fall away two.
Yeah,
Southland.
Solid defense, forcing a difficult shot against an athletic defender.
Sharks though, turn it over, tipped away, and Wynyard snaffles it.
We've lost a little bit of the execution in the last few minutes here.
Hilliard working with Wynyard, gives it up to Roger. Roger behind his back, poked away by Mojave King. Wynyard up high, Aaron Bailey-Knoll with great position on Inga. Off the glass and down.
Oh, I love that big-to-big interior passing. Timely flash by Ty Wynyard as a release foul. Strong post move after the hard post up.
Mojave King lost the handle. Can they save it? Hilliard does. Ball on the floor though. Gill gets it. Burton, three ball, no good. Gill taps it away. And
that should go to the airs, I believe.
Should go to the airs.
Oh, apparently not.
The two refs looked at each other.
So, well, according to the vision I saw, which is the vision you're seeing at home, it looked like that was off the Sharks, but no, the hustle of the Sharks is rewarded. As we see it bounce out, looks like it's right off Gill's hand.
Mara Gill,
it's
his big mitt on it.
Harder to see in full speed, except for us when we noticed it.
Back to the action. Mojave King, Kalman, Portal, set shot, almost banked it in. We've already had one from Inga tonight, off the glass and down.
Douglas back in the ball game to try and find a way to attack this zone. No Wynyard in the game.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, the bounce pass from Douglas to Hilliard with the cut. Well, the back door was wide open.
And he cut with purpose, and Douglas had his eyes up the court, giving them a bucket when they really needed a bit of breathing space.
Mojave King going to work and knocking down the three.
That's just skill there. Not a lot you can do. That's the shot you would choose in that case if you were guarding him, but he hits it regardless.
Javonte Douglas, will he get the continuation? It's waved off. And getting the aggression now from the two imports. Mojave King up to 17 for Southland with that made three, but Taranaki wanting to play at the speed, and Braden Inga, desperation foul there, just trying to slow him down.
Pin this side. You're the shallow cut through.
I do like the energy that Southland has come out with. They need to maintain it. They've made some good inroads, but these last 3.5 minutes are key to getting some momentum for this fourth.
Oh, nice pass, but it just bobbled around for Auntie. Hilliard, front of the rim, gets his own rebound. He's stuffed. Stay with the airs.
When the physicality is rising. The imports who are freshly into the season are starting to understand the level of physicality with which you have to play to score in the paint.
Anthony Hilliard played in Germany, Belarus, Russia, Israel, France, Lebanon. Now he's in New Plymouth. And turnover. Mojave knocking down his back-to-back three.
He is feeling good in transition, and transition is where the offense is flowing for the Sharks. They are loving getting these rebounds and turning up quickly. Wynyard probably needs to get back in to control that glass and give themselves an offensive rebounding footprint.
Telfa, foul by Jaron.
Nice harassment of the ball handlers there. They're starting to really force the Naki a little bit further out beyond their comfort zone on these half-court plays. And then we see in transition, nice kick ahead by Dom Poto. Mojave King lets it fly with good reason.
Or get a catch if you need to try. Yeah.
Hilliard looking for Roger. Richie Roger.
Get it back.
Need to get a shot up. Javonte Douglas.
Oh, he just can't find the rim.
Javonte shaking his head at midcourt. Here comes Inga. Songa Ape. Back to Inga.
Just
Richie Roger read the drive. Jaron gets around Telfer. Kalman Portal loitering on the baseline and puts it up and in.
They are forcing the defense of the Airs to bend until it breaks. Multiple penetrations over and over again, forcing rotations until there's an opportunity.
Javonte Douglas gives it to Scott Telfer, who is fouled by Jaron and will shoot because they're in the bonus.
That's an unfortunate foul, and that's that fine line between aggression and too much aggression. You have to be up and in, but you have to find a way to do it without the fouls, as Telfer will now head to the line and is hopeful to give the Naki some desperately needed space as Southland is on the march.
Sinliana smell blood in the water of Southland in this third quarter. They're up to 46% shooting percentage from the floor. Taranaki at 39. They were briefly above 40%.
We're attacking.
Just dipping down now. 13 turnovers though for Southland. Their own worst enemy in that respect. Just a 7 for the Airs. Telfer helping the Airs cause.
This is the best Naki has taken care of the basketball probably this season. Only 7 turnovers up to this point of the game.
Well, the Airs average over 17. As McRae just has it stuffed by Wynyard. It still stays with Leo Songa Ape and the Sharks. And
out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Oh, that looked awkward.
That was awkward. I'm glad to see Ty Wynyard come up. It's a good thing he's got that tree trunks for legs.
I felt that from where we are.
I'm pretty sure I tore my ACL looking at that play. See the drive, the kick out. Durant apparently foot on the floor, and then, that's dangerous, man. That is extremely lucky that Ty Wynyard
he just had a smile.
Built out of granite.
That says everything you need to know about Ty Wynyard and his gene pool that he is from. Oh, dropped off nicely from Carlin Davidson.
Oh, that's the awareness I love to see from Davidson. Reading the defenders and making the right play at the right time. Good finish, too.
Carlin Davidson just seems to have all the tools. Just putting it together before our eyes. Good stop from the Airs. Hilliard fouled and one. Taranaki back.
Hilliard aggressive off the drive. He's obviously got the shot, but when he's got some of these catches up in transition, he is pushing it hard off the catch. 19 points, 4 assists already. What an infusion of offense he has been tonight for the Airs. And then we see the beautiful drive, dish, and powerful finish for Ty Wynyard, who continues his powerful game. 10 points to go along with 9 rebounds for the big fella. But leading the way is Hilliard with that 19 off the bench, now 20.
Matching Braden Inger's 20 and Mojave King's 20 for the Sharks.
How about the response of the Airs in these last 2 minutes? The lead was cut down to 1. They've got a 7-0 run.
Jaron. Songa Ape, the second unit out there for the Sharks. And oh wow, great block. Douglas looking up ahead to Hilliard with the bounce pass. Scott Telfer couldn't quite hang on to it.
That was a really nice, unselfish look. Love the play and the response from Douglas, who hasn't been playing very well on the offensive end, but doesn't let that affect his defensive efforts. Unfortunately, a nice opportunity is left on the table there.
Jaron. Stolen almost by Carlin Davidson.
And the offense has really petered out for Southland since Mojave King went to the bench. He has been key, in particular to their fast break ability. And with him riding the pine. That has gone the wayward side.
It's played 21 minutes so far in this game. Songa Ape got Telfer in the air. Southland get an offensive rebound. Ape, it counts! The continuation.
And Telfer stopped on the play when he heard the whistle, allowing Songa Ape to finish. Excellent, strong mindset by Songa Ape. Look, there's the whistle. He's going to go and finish. The rest of the Airs just watch that go up instead of contesting, instead of getting another cheeky foul there to take away an easy opportunity. Excellent job by the young fella off the bench, Songa Ape.
Scott Telford takes a seat. There's Songa Ape at the line for Southland. A lot of burn for Songa Ape, but when he does, he is active. And just another bobbled pass from the Airs.
Unforced errors drive a coaching staff insane. That's multiple plays where they're just leaving points on the board. Wide open shots if they can just catch it.
Oh my goodness! Songa Ape.
Flex on him, young fella. After a play like that with the finish on the other side of the glass.
Javonte Douglas stepping through. Gets his own tip.
Finally. And how about that second jump ability? Puts up the finger roll, doesn't get it, but tips in his own miss off the rim. That is explosive.
Whatever the Sharks have, the Airs seem to have an answer for. It's Cowie on the drive. The floater over the top of William. Tough finish from Cowie. The Sharks hanging around at TSB Stadium, closing the gap to 4. The Airs lead 71-67 after 3. The NZNBL, proudly presented by GJ Gardner Homes. Taranaki Airs against the Southland Sharks and join a 4-point lead. And they have led for the bulk of the game, Casey, but I feel like this final quarter is going to have so much in store for the outcome of this game. It still could be anyone's.
Yeah, if I'm the Sharks, I feel reasonably confident about where I'm at because they've been down for so long, but it's all up to the Naki how this one finishes. They take care of the ball, play solid defense, they're good to go. And with that, we welcome in Trent Adams, who just talked to us. How are you feeling with this 4-point lead? What do you think the keys are in this fourth quarter for you to go home with a victory?
The discipline about the details, that was our timeout talk. We talked about discipline and not letting them go base and getting to their strong hand drives, and those details have let us down at the moment. So we've got to get better at those things as far as getting our details right and finishing at the rim. We're probably blowing 6-8 points in transition, and that's not a great thing to do.
Trent Adam, thank you for your time, mate. That's a tough position to watch right there.
Yes, okay, cool, thanks.
Thanks, Trent, appreciate it. And then good, strong move on Romaro. Gill gets the airs at the line.
Well, nice hands by Gill to pull that in. Looked like he might struggle with the reception there. Instead, he's able to gather. And despite some reasonably upright defense by Ty, when you see that arm on the back, makes it the call there. He wants to call on the other end, but that is an easy one to blow the whistle for there.
Romaro can't get that one to go down. Just had a look of frustration after that foul. Just hasn't really gone his way to bounce of the ball.
Well, just like that though, Southland back in this ball game after a solid run by the Airs. All of a sudden, points hard to come by once again.
Post that. Get out, get out, get out.
Hayes Walker. Douglas wants to drive on Cowie. Skip pass. Roger can't get it, but Douglas is there all by himself. They just forgot about him, and he gets his own, well, gets a rebound and gets it up, and it's foul.
Well, it looked like defenders around him started running the other way, like they were expecting Gill to get that rebound all on his own. Instead, straight into the hands of Douglas. Look at this, Cowie's out of there. Oh, that's just a solid shed on the offensive glass by Douglas, showing off his strength.
He just swiped him aside.
And the Yeti was letting him know about it too. No, I believe they might be discussing a goaltend.
Yeah.
And the referees seeing with the continuation.
Well, the foul happened, but it's whether or not the ball was off the glass and makeable. Don't see the call yet, so here we see it.
It might be just a goaltend call.
Well, the foul was called.
And then
Rebound
goes
here.
up.
There's the foul, and that looks to me like a goaltend. The ball is on the glass.
Made that up. My God, my God, my God.
So they are
Trent
not
Adam.
counting the basket based on that reaction from Trent Adam.
I don't know if he caught it, but he's stunned.
The ball was on the backboard.
Yeah, on the second attempt, not the
You
first.
just made that up. You just made it up.
Yeah, that is yeah, I don't know what they're talking about on the second attempt. There was only one shot there, but sure.
Classic NBL. Douglas makes the second.
1 out of 2 will give them a little bit of breathing space, but now, what's the Sharks' attack look like? King still on the bench. Who's going to step up for the men in orange?
Sunga Ape. The airs drop off, close up the lane on that one, and then they corral the defensive board. Here comes Hilliard. Good position for Wynyard, but not used.
Love to see him get a catch there. But this is a good post up as well.
Oh, Romaro Gill came across, disrupted it, but it's Richie Roger on the weak side who puts it up and in off the glass.
Well, good vision.
Oh, man, that's just tough. That's tough for the Southland Sharks.
And I didn't see if that was just a wayward pass as the camera cut away just before that went out of bounds. But that unforced error on the comeback trail, even more damaging.
You gotta get the ball through.
15th turnover for the game for the Sharks.
You're getting it, yeah. 2 out, yeah, for him.
King and Zoe Burton check back in.
Get this and then this. Higher, higher.
So the Airs get another go at it.
Go.
There's 4-point lead.
Other side.
Richie Roger. Wynyard. They just, oh my goodness. Braden Enger went down.
Man, strong move by Wynyard. Great challenge by Enger in the air there.
And we're going to get where Enger went down, cleaned up a little.
That's nice,
Just
that's
the
nice.
strength of Wynyard, though.
Man, that was a strong move. Double for him now. 14 points, 11 rebounds. And he determined. Look at this catcher. He's going to the rim. He comes up, gets that contact.
Enger went straight up. He's frustrated. He slaps the floor.
Yeah, he's
Romaro Gill was there.
really nice challenge by Ben Enger. I don't know From the angle, tough to tell if he's completely straight up. Truth be told, he's probably fortunate to get a foul on it, but they let him play. And the heads up miss by Ty Wynyard. Sticks with the play, finishes it when they need it most. Lead back to 6, 5 straight points for the Airs.
Make him go right.
Leasanga Ape. Carlin Davidson. The call make him go right. Now it's Romaro Gill.
Oh, great read.
Great read though, yeah, you're absolutely right. Turnover, it's Davidson. Drops it off for Ty Wynyard and one.
Well, that is a perfectly run, unselfish fast break. Davison kicks it ahead to Douglas. Douglas draws the defenders with that. Everybody turns the face and a little drop off for Wynyard. Drew Leasanga tries to get a hand in late, but to no avail because the strength of Wynyard will not be denied. 16 points for him now on the make.
Timeout, Southland. They were getting close, and then the Airs just string it together. The ball bounces their way. And Rob Beveridge needs to talk about it.
If we throw it in the post here, exit, run it. Okay, if we throw it in, get out of there. Okay, then move the ball and attack from the weak side. If we get back in the damn game, you throw the ball away. Hey, you've done the work to get back in, take care of it. Okay, so right now, you've got to make sure that defensively here, you've got to rebound, you've got to intimidate shots. Okay? When we switch it, switch the contain aggressively here. Okay? Let's go. Here we go. Match up. Go.
Well, 16 turnovers for the Sharks, and none more costly than those last couple of possessions. The unforced errors mounting up.
And that's what they average on the season.
No our matchup.
It's 16.
No our matchup.
The Airs look really good. Ty Wynyard, while he's going to the Brazil line, Casey, there must be Australian NBL teams interested in his form and the way he's playing, international teams as well, because he is legit size and strength and touch.
Well, and the thing is, you don't really know how difficult it is to play this guy when you're watching the game. It looks solid, but being out there, he affects people. He affects everyone that comes across his path, as we see the foul on the wing. But yeah, I certainly think that Ty Wynyard has played his way back into a higher level of basketball this offseason from the NBL. He, in my belief, looks like a guy who's got his career back on track.
Here comes Mojave King, who made things happen for Southland. Ty Wynyard, just 24 years of age. And that's just an overzealous pass.
Just a little floaty. It looks with Ty Wynyard there that he might have pulled the brakes on and didn't really sprint out. Douglas just has to. That's something that's going to come with the season, though. These guys haven't really spent a lot of time together. You know, during this game, Coach Trent Adams is trying to talk the imports through baseline and out of bounds plays because they just don't have all the knowledge yet. But it's a good start for sure.
And it's an air ball, unfortunately.
Oh, my.
Look after the ball, Alonzo Burden. And that is uncharacteristic for him.
Well, forcing the effort a little bit on the offensive end. Stop. Every time the Sharks make a run, it's because they're moving the basketball, they're getting up in transition.
Javonte Douglas, Mara Gill gets it.
Timely rebound, but here again, the Sharks have to attack. They can't be settled to let the defense set in the half court.
Burton, and he's fouled on the drive.
No, he's lucky there. On that one would have been another turnover. On the dish, ball should be on the sideline.
Hey, look at some kickback, corner kickback as well, coming off screens.
Scoring has slowed down here in the fourth quarter.
It certainly has, Casey. You're absolutely right. It's just 8-3 in this fourth quarter. And so it will be Southland again with the ball. Good look from Kalman Porto.
What a hand.
Just brought it down too low.
I believe the kick was called afterwards. Like we'll see here, the strip. And the kick there by Gill. So no foul called after that one, but possession stays with Taranaki. And Southland, they're playing a team without a true point guard. They could really get up and in and pressure these ball handlers bringing it up the court.
Roger. Javonte Douglas just posterized his own player.
Floating through the key for that putback.
Mojave King counted and one at the other end.
How about the response?
That is tough from Mojave King.
Desperate for something to come back as the lead stretched into double digits. And once again, it's the quick counterattack, fast break basketball. Here we see a beautiful putback. Probably would have gone in, but it looks better nonetheless. But right away on the other end, instantly into the paint, putting pressure on the airs, not taking no for an answer, not settling for the jump shot. They have to attack the painted area with the dribble.
King at the Racine foul line. Speaking of bright futures, Ty Wynyard, Mojave King is putting it together in this game. He has 23 points and the lead is 8. It's Javonte. No Marcel Jones tonight. He's out with COVID. Anthony Hilliard with a turnaround. The other import along with Javonte in the game, and that's smooth from Hilliard.
He's been selective with his offense, but timely with its delivery.
Is Burton. Sees a double team on the baseline. Richie Roger seals the ball, and Rob Beveridge just crosses his arms, folds them.
Richie Roger baited him into that one. He gave him the angle, then came and snatched it.
It was what Rob Beveridge was talking about in his timeout. Look after the ball. Hilliard, jerky with the ball, misses the 3. Southland, Kalman Porto, kicking it out. Sanga Ape, too unselfish. It's wide open, and they work hard to get that too.
Well, they got a bucket out of it, but yeah, I too would like to see Drew Sanga Ape let that one fly. But I like the workaround as well. Continue to tire out this defense, who's starting to play a little bit slowly and play the lead instead of the game.
Hilliard. And Ty Wynyard's fouled down low. He didn't really look like he wanted to punch that one down.
Yeah, I thought he was going to, and then he saw that 7'2" fella come up in the middle lane and realized, it's a little bit tougher. The defense of the Sharks then collapsed on that Hilliard drive, opening up that little drop-off for Ty Wynyard, who goes back to the line for the free throw opportunity, where he's been less than stellar today, but not bad. 3 for 5 total, but 2 big ones here. They need to keep this trading basket game with the Sharks. The Sharks need to string together stops. They're right there within touching distance, but they need it to happen.
68% will make us good from the line on the season and in the game right now. Makes both 10-point lead.
19 points now for Ty Wynyard.
Big 5 minutes ahead for the Southland Sharks. They want to get back into this game. They need to string it together.
Ooh, and a couple minutes on the bench for Wynyard. This, I like, he could use a rest, but this really opens things up on the rebounds. A lot of pressure on Aaron Bailey-Noel.
Oh, that went in.
That has to be King's bucket, right? Or they're going to give it to Gill, but either way, it's 2.
Mojave put it up for Amara Gill, and it just dropped in for King.
Ooh, had a high-low opportunity there.
And under control eventually by Hilliard. And he shoots the 3, and that is silky smooth. A broken play, and Hilliard now is 25 in the game.
And that might be the biggest bucket of the game. Broken play, Southland feeling well, but the breathing space on the triple created.
Burden not really using the Kalman Porto screen, and Mojave King contested 3.
The answer. Refusing to be denied. 26 points now on 8 for 13 from the field.
They need stops to Southland. Hilliard. Carlin Davidson. Romaro Gill on him. Hilliard Back out to Davidson. A set shot, can't get it. Carmen Poto with the rebound.
Well, despite his makes today, that is the guy the Sharks want shooting the basketball.
The clock is not on their side though. And a kick ball. We'll reset it all.
Might have some seconds put back on, but so much time left in this ballgame with 3:40 to play, an 8-point deficit. With the way the Sharks can put the points on the board extremely quickly, this is by no means a safe lead.
88-80. Carmen Poto going to work. Floater's a bit of a tough one.
And you see
it's not quite the shot they needed.
Ty Wynyard has checked back in.
Bucket here, a 3 would kill it. Oh, nothing but net. It's 11 now with 3:20 to go. Anthony Hilliard stepping up in the fourth. He is 28.
Came in off the bench today. I think that might be the last time he does that this season. 28 points and timeliness of threes. Now 10 for 21 for the field. 5 for 10 from the three-point strike is where it's most important, and he is playing with some confidence and giving this Air squad a bit of confidence as well.
Absolutely defend. Good job getting up and in on those ball screens so as you can steal under. So if you see, if Richie gets real high, you can now play in that little gap, and then Richie can steal unders because he's forced it so high. Rebound. If there's something in transition, take it. If not, we're either in head taps or away.
Making now. Slow down. Catch. Play into that. I need you to follow the damn rules here. Because you're killing us. Switch to the three-point line.
Yeah, Rob Beveridge, I believe he had words there. Carmen Poto, maybe in Zoe Burden, just that switch, not aggressive enough, and Hilliard with that big 3. Both caught out, trying to work out who was taking what.
Man, tough night for Rob Beveridge. It's always been on the cusp for the Sharks, but they haven't found that consistency of possession yet.
It's Mojave King rolling to the hoop is Romaro Gill. That is good basketball. They need to involve Romaro Gill in more plays like that, because he is just going to absolutely bend the defense with his length.
And it's a little bit, he just hasn't had the ball in hand. He's had 1 shot total today, 2 attempts from the free throw line. So these will be attempts 3 and 4. And you can see, granted, solid job on the glass, 8 rebounds. Unfortunately, 5 turnovers for the big fella. So it'd be a great time for him to come striking on the ledger on the positive side.
Good foul shooter as well coming into the game. Hadn't missed, has the 1 miss tonight. Southland down 10, 3:10 to go. Gill at the Racine line, misses a second. There's Douglas up ahead to Roger.
Away, away, away.
Southland into a zone. Roger floater, back of the iron. Carmen Poto with it, pushing it.
Gotta push.
Braden Inga, he's been good. He got a little bit of a gap. Great pass over the top. Beautiful basketball.
Feathery with the touch. It needed to be just over the fingernail of the defenders.
Here comes Hilliard. Javante knocks down a 3. The imports have been superb.
Well, Douglas had only the 1 bucket in the first half. Well, he's up to 11 points now.
Mojave King misses.
Oh, and that's just about it. A quick shot there. Taranaki should stretch out this possession, use the entirety of the shot clock.
Javante feels good, Casey. I'm sorry, but he's going to the line.
You know, teach their own. To each their own. But at this point, with an 11-point lead, we're down to 5, maybe 6 possessions total. If you could stretch it out and use the entirety of things on the shot clock on your end, the Sharks, of course, will be pushing it the other way. But now it's just straight math. Don't give them the opportunity.
This is just going to be a fascinating season in the NZNBL because 6 teams make the playoffs, not 4 as it has been. 4 teams are going to miss out, 4 good teams, because these imports that have come into the league, as Douglas misses the first. I mean, the likes of the Jets, they've added imports. They're going to be playing tomorrow afternoon, see what they can do. Still searching for their first win, but experience is what that youthful squad needs. Wellington still looking for their first win. Saints tomorrow have the Rams. Nuggets play the Jets. Scott Telford pulls down that board. Southland just can't get it done.
Well, where's the orange jerseys on the glass? You heard Rob Beveridge in the background. But it's desperation time. Fast breaks the other way don't matter. You need buckets.
Elliott. Right hand.
Well, you got a 5-on-4 opportunity. Should be a 3-point shot somewhere.
No better in the league. Can't get it though.
And that kind of night for the Sharks.
Elliott said nah.
There we go. There we go. Finally slowed it down. And it looks like the Taranaki faithful are going to be rewarded with a victory, maybe.
Javonte Douglas, 3 ball on the way. Stepping back. Burden up ahead.
Still some time. Oh.
King. He can't get it.
Time out, please. I got one more.
Looks like a timeout to Rob Beveridge and the Southland Sharks.
Can't get into the timeouts, under 2 minutes, so I have to theorize what Rob Beveridge is going to be saying.
Well, it feels like at this point he's just got to get these guys locked in. This last couple of minutes, they haven't done what they needed, but now he never stops coaching, Coach Rob Beveridge. He keeps things going all the way.
Well, the next 3 games will be at home. They've got the Nuggets, Saints, and the Tuatara for the Sharks. And that home court is always strong. That fan base is always great. And so the Sharks, if it doesn't work for them here, they'll go to 2-3. And the Airs will go to 2-3 as well if they get the win here with 70 seconds to go. For the Airs, excuse me, the Sharks have 2 games in a row. The Airs have another 3 at home. The Nuggets and the Giants for the Sharks at home. Hawke's Bay and Wellington away. Those are the next 4 games for the Sharks. For the Airs, they've got a week without Marcel Jones. So they've got the Nuggets, Saints, and Tuatara and Hawke's Bay as well. And those are all hungry playoff teams.
Every game matters right now.
So good.
There's no game at any point in the season that doesn't matter to everybody. It is a jumbled field, and it will continue to be so for the remainder of this season, which is great fun for everybody watching. Well, let's see what the Sharks, are they going to come with a trap, or are they just playing solid defense here to run it out? There's a trap, but got to get in the passing lanes to take it away. Oh, good block.
Really good block. Anger poking it away. Mojave King has it.
Sharks still fighting.
Sharks still fighting all right. We're down 12. Mojave King needs a 3. And 1 over Wynyard isn't going to work.
How about the Naki getting a pretty big scalp on their home court?
Putting 95 as well on the board.
I think we had, what was it, 75% of the public money was on the Sharks before this one, and that leaves only 25% of people happy.
You don't know, you just don't know what Hilliard and Douglas imports can do to a team. And what they did in the 4th quarter was excellent. It's Mojave King with 10 seconds to go. Somebody needs to shoot a 3. And there's Songa Ape, hoists it up, banks it in.
Oh.
He called it, surely.
And then it goes like that. That kind of day for the Sharks. When they need it most, it doesn't come, and when it's all over, it starts to trickle.
And that is the game. The Airs faithful applaud the home team. What an impressive game for them to come out and witness. They get the big dub, 97-86 over the Southland Sharks. 97-86, Mojave King with 28 for the Sharks, 28 for Anthony Hilliard.
How about the scoring by the Airs? 4 quarters, all over 20 points, finished with their strongest quarter of the day, 26 to point finish it. What an offensive output. They have quickly molded these imports into the offensive flow. With Marcel Jones still to come after sickness, they've got some good things going, as the Yeti knows.
Anthony Hilliard all smiles in his first game for the NZNBL 2022. Javonte Douglas has been here, done that with the Airs in 2018. He's enjoying the game and the win. There is Douglas. Javonte Douglas.
He was able to find his way down the stretch, finishing with 14 points, 13 rebounds, and 7 assists. Despite a tough shooting night, that is the way you affect the game.
Another big double-double for Ty Wynyard, 19 and 13. Roger 9 and 4. Taranaki getting the round of applause. They came out and saw the Airs get a win, just 41% from the floor, Casey. But their rebounding of plus 12, big advantage, 26 assists, 10 steals, 19 turnovers for Southland. Conversely, just 10 for the Airs in the game.
And it was just so choppy for the Sharks, but it was all go for the Airs. And I think a lot of it has to do with Anthony Hilliard, who's sitting with Miles Pierce right now.
Welcome to New Zealand. Great first game. And how are you feeling after that one?
Man, I'm tired. I just got in yesterday, man, so I'm still jet lagged, legs still heavy, but they encouraged me to be aggressive, so I like it. They was around me, told me keep being aggressive. We missed chippies, little easy shots, but it was a good first win, for sure.
How do you guys think you guys are going to come together? How much time do you think you'll need till you really guys start clicking?
We still missing Marcel, so when we get him, I think we have a lot of depth. That's going to help us because we can keep pressure on teams and keep running. So I think that's going to help us. As time get on, we're going to get better, I think.
You guys definitely looking deeper than you did a week ago, and you guys are bringing some extra talent, so it's great to see. Thank you very much.
For sure.
It was great to see, and what was better to see was that ball coming through the net for Anthony Hilliard. Started with the triple in the corner, and it was all easier from there. He really showed a nice bag. He able to do it off the catch, off the bounce, dishing the ball well. At the same time, 6 assists. But it was that jumper that the Naki has most needed. They needed somebody to shoot the basketball. 28 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. I think most important for Taranaki was his 5 for 11 from the three-point line. A team that was shooting 21% from 3 coming in, 39% from the line now. And as good as it was for the Airs, it was a tougher night for the Sharks.
And now Braden Inga from the Southland Sharks is with Miles Pierce courtside.
Mate, tough night at the office. A couple of you guys led some scoring. You and Mojave did very well. How do you get other guys to chip in?
Well, we stay aggressive, draw the defense in, kick it out. You know, like we always play out. We try to play from the inside out. So it's just up to the other dudes to put it in the post and just go to work.
You guys looked a little shaky at times on the defensive end of the floor, but the zone was working well. How can you guys carry that over to the offensive end?
That aggressiveness, we're still trying to find our identity, you know, and match the physicality of those other teams. So I think that's why in our zone, we hit the bodies, we box out hard, and we sort of carry that through, like you said, and just pretty much stay aggressive the whole game since those let-ups.
Awesome. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
No, appreciate it.
Well, Braden Inga left it all on the court, got off to a solid start with the triple, and was able to affect the game in a lot of ways. 20 points, 3 assists, 3 blocks, but it was an unfortunate timing on the shots where it wasn't really going the way they wanted to do.
5 triples for Braden Inga, and he had the only plus-minus that wasn't a negative for the Sharks with those 20 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 3 blocks.
Finding a way to get things involved. He needs to get his enthusiasm infected into the rest of the squad right now.
And the man in the middle for the Airs is Ty Wynyard, and he's having a stellar season after being plagued by back injuries, and he's with Miles now.
coming up big on the glass, coming up big on the inside. You guys really did well. You particularly did well against the DKP and Romero Gill. How are you feeling?
I love the battle, you know, they both fought hard. I think we just really wanted today. We haven't had a win at home for a long time. So I think the boys really fought well. The new imports showed what they can do. But I think, yeah, we're just got to keep fighting, keep figuring ourselves out, getting through the motions. And if we play this hard, I think we can have a chance at winning a lot of games. So, yeah.
Big year for you. You've already been to Doha. You've got big year coming up with 3x3, tall blacks, everything's going on. How do you keep your body right?
You just got to keep pushing, you know. So I have Pilates that I go to. I got Josh Cooper, that's strength and conditioning of the team here. So we're just getting in core work, glute work all the time, so keep that back ready. I have a camp coming up on Monday. There's a 3-day camp, I think 2 days of 3-day trainings, and then straight back into this. So we just keep our bodies ready, keep getting active, and yeah, just keep working.
That's awesome. Love to see the post work. Keep it up.
You do you, Ty. You do you. Imagine him on the Reformer.
Don't apologize for anything except maybe the F-bombs you're dropping in the interviews, but don't apologize for the enthusiasm you had. Love the way he's moving without the basketball. He is really making himself available, taking up space in the interior, displaying that soft touch that he has, and finishing with power as well. His teammates are looking for him. They know the power that this big fella has. And Taranaki is looking like a pretty complete offensive package as we take a look at the stats for the game. The Sharks shot the ball better, but look at that discrepancy in shots. 84 to 62, just so much more ball in hand. That's because of the rebounds, 53 to 39. Look at that. And the lack of turnovers for the Airs, their best job taking care of the basketball this season.
Yeah, that camp that Ty's talking about is the 3x3 camp for the Tall Blacks and Tall Ferns that will be happening in Auckland, and that is how the table looks now. The Sharks are 2-3, the Airs are 2-3. 2 more games to come in NZNBL 2022. Round 4, back-to-back tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed the game from New Plymouth. The Airs